We're live?
We're live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Hello and welcome. Isn't that joke will never grow old? That was the most lasting thing Bill O'Reilly ever gave to us was fuck it, we'll do it live.
Was that
All
Bill
right, hello,
O'Reilly?
What's that?
Was that Bill O'Reilly? I thought that was
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah.
It was Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, wow.
I wonder what he's doing right this second.
Hopefully
Probably not something
coronavirus.
appropriate.
Hello and welcome to the Comedy Studio Podcast.
The Only
Lee
Podcast. We're on a podcast right now.
We nailed it. I'm your host, Danny Hatch. Your other host is Eli Levy. Welcome.
Hey,
to the
how's
show,
it going? Hello.
It's going well. Eli, it's been a while since I asked you this, and I like to make a point to ask you every so often. Have you switched back to that Mark Maron book while you're grinding out some product at the shit factory? No. Still scrolling Facebook. Look, I can't blame you, because I do the same thing. Do you miss it?
I do. I think about it. I think about not reading Facebook, and I think about opening the book instead.
You're wistful for it.
But
Wistful thinking.
But then I comment on a gaming website's article, and I just wait for the comments to come rolling in.
You comment on articles.
I don't know. I see people like complain about video games right now, and it just bothers me because it really doesn't matter.
What are people complaining about?
People are just so entitled. Like when it comes to video games, they like, oh, this game doesn't have an experience system anymore. I'm like, it's still gonna be good. People are like, oh, this doesn't have what I want. I'm like, well, it's called an artist's creative decisions.
It's called life, baby. Doesn't always conform to your expectations.
Yeah.
Like I'm shouting. Our special guest today, our first of two. Please welcome to the show. He's the owner and operator of Rick's Cool Suits, LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rick Jenkins.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Now, I can't help but notice that you are out of doors at the moment.
I am. In traditional 1940s format, I am out on the fire escape of my apartment.
You look slick.
Shouting at the
Slick.
Are your neighbors around watching you record this podcast?
Do you have an audience?
Our live audience?
No, but from here we see the construction site. They are putting up a 6-story hotel.
A hotel in Somerville?
Yeah, they think people are going to want to go to hotels when this is over.
Come to the beautiful Mystic River, where you can see the largest garbage pile found in a river.
And you can look at that Encore Hotel, I'm sure. They got a view of the Encore, the casino?
Yeah, no, I'm up in Somerville. But up on top of the hill. But the Mystic River is beautiful. It's this part of Somerville that they're saying, ooh, it's going to be worth some money someday. Let's build now.
I went kayaking in the Charles River last week. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, Rose has been wanting to do that for a while.
It's super cheap. I would, however, recommend you can get like a double kayak, or you can get 2 singles. I'd recommend the 2 singles.
Oh yeah, did you and Lisa go?
Yeah, we did it with me and Lisa got a double. My roommate and his girlfriend, and my other roommate and his girlfriend also got a double. We had 3 doubles, and it was kind of hard work.
I would imagine.
But it was nice, really nice.
I'm not very good at rowing. Rose and I one time went on a date to Central Park when I lived in New York, and we rented a rowboat. And that's when I discovered I'm very bad at rowing boats. She had to take over for me.
My hands were very sore at the end of it. It's a really good workout, but it's pretty sweet.
You lost me at workout.
Well, at one point they wanted to make it a race, and that's when I kind of tapped out.
A race?
Yeah, I lost.
Well,
when I was living in your neighborhood, Danny, like almost every other house had their own kayak.
Yeah, we go down to that beach a lot. The magazine, the Charles River Beach.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of kayakers unloading and offloading, I guess, into the river.
Yeah, our neighbors did it for 4th of July. Didn't even occur to me. Like, yeah, just grab a kayak and sit in the river, watch the fireworks.
Rosa told me a story that she went before she met me. I hope before she met me. She went on a date, and it was like I think it was coffee meets bagel. I don't know. It was some quirky date they were doing, and the date they did was they jumped off a footbridge into the Charles. Maybe it was the Harvard footbridge.
That's a long jump.
Yeah, so then maybe it wasn't. Maybe I don't know. It was a footbridge.
Wow, I would not do that.
Well, I wouldn't either. And she had a fun time, and she told her friend about it. And then her friend did it, and I guess kept her mouth open, and all this disgusting Charles River water got in her system, and she got really sick. So that's my experience with the Charles. Never been in it. Don't plan on it.
Wouldn't recommend it. I will say the water felt nice when I just like waved my hand in, but I would not swim in it.
No, I know
Well,
that there.
apparently, apparently they've done a very good job of cleaning it up. They actually have a Swim the Charles event each year to publicize the fact.
Yeah, there are like some pockets of it that are safe, right? But
Yeah.
it's only like certain little areas that they've roped off.
Yeah.
Which how do you come on, water's gonna get in there. like a little rope is not gonna stop some dirty water from mixing with the clean water. I don't know how they do.
What
these
if it
kind of
does? What
Then,
what
hey,
if science is just that simple?
things. Then I stand corrected, and I should have done better in school if science was that simple. All right. Hey, I wanted to bring this up before we get into the meat of the show. Rick,
There's meat.
shut up. Of course, there's meat. Rick, have you been signing a lot of online petitions recently?
A couple that come up here and there.
Yeah. You know how I know that?
Hmm.
Because you used my email address to sign up for MoveOn.org, and so I've been getting
Oh, really?
a lot of MoveOn emails
Wait,
for the last week.
your
that happen?
Danny.Hatch or your
That's what I wanted to ask you, Rick. Yes, it's to my work email. I've been getting a deluge of MoveOn.org
Well, yeah,
emails.
So
At
what have
least
you
it
been
wasn't-
supporting?
White supremacist or something.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, at least it wasn't.
Danny,
that,
I had
yes.
no idea.
Hey, no, all power to your morals and scruples. It's, you seem to be fighting the good fight, but you are doing it with my name. So I just wanted to
did that
ask.
happen?
That was my question for you. How did that happen?
I don't
Maybe
know.
it
'cause
was
I-
a
Oh,
villain on
I
a
think
computer?
I have a guess. Danny, have you ever logged into your account on Rick's computer?
Yeah, probably I have.
Depending on since you guys do like a lot of work together, that might have been the last account Rick was signed on to. So
Yeah. Well, that explains
whenever
all
he
these
did
weird-
that, so it probably just assumes whatever the last account you had was, and
that could be.
sign
well,
away.
all right, that must explain all those weird Google fill-ins.
I
I've
can't
been
believe
seeing.
you signed that petition, Danny, to put all the Jews away again.
How to sweat less. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, like
And
in a
with your
nice
work
place.
email.
All right, good. So I wanted to get to the bottom of that, and it sounds like Eli did for us. Thank you very much.
I'm a great detective, huh?
You are. Hey,
Tech
some
wizard.
Tech wizard. Well, and that's a little close to KKK, and that was kind of
Tech Grand
Eli's
Wizard?
joke
No.
made me a little nervous already. So let's just say Tech, not Master, Tech Wonderkind, right?
Tech Shaman?
Tech Shaman. Perfect. Maybe not. Hey, some local news. A couple of beloved Central Square Cambridge bars are closing, we found out. due to
Central
the
Square
coronavirus.
is fucked right now.
Central Square is what?
Fucked. It's not good.
No, it's not good. Yeah, I live near Central Square. They've tried to set up some outdoor dining spaces, but that's like putting a Band-Aid on an amputated foot.
Yeah.
Well, they are, yeah. So they've got over there by Viale. I happen to know the owners at Viale, and yeah, they're extending like right into the street. So they're making a huge collaborative dining area, and then the parking lot behind Kmart or
H Mart.
what's
H Mart.
You were
H-Mart.
very close.
The Korean place, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
parking lot.
Pan-Asian, yeah.
They're turning into a huge virtual park that will have street fairs and all that sort of stuff. So the city is trying to move as quickly as they can on this.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are some long time holes that need to be filled.
Yeah,
They've left in the dust the Field
I can't
and
believe
Cantab Lounge, two long-standing Cambridge Square bars, announced that they most likely will not be reopening once things are allowed to.
That's so
a
sad.
shame. I've had some good times at those places.
I've been to the
Cantab is up
Cantab
for
once.
sale.
Cantab is up for sale.
How much is it?
Okay. Yeah. Can we pitch
How much?
in?
How much is it?
Yeah, so it's possible that somebody wants to keep it close to the same or whatever.
Mm.
But
Maybe it's whoever bought the gas will also buy the Cantab Lounge, and then there can be
Oh, that's not great.
a whole network of condos. I bring this up because it is sad, and it's of course community oriented somewhat, but also because we discussed it in our work Zoom meeting yesterday, and Rick shared with us a truly horrifying story about something he witnessed at the Cantab, and I was wondering if he would do me the honor of saying it on the podcast for public consumption.
well, it takes a bit of time.
Please, we've got all of it in the world.
I actually told it on the open mic last night to see if I can
Oh, how'd it go?
turn into something. It's good. I mean, it's a good story and all that, but it's not that funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
But-
here's a couple deaths. Can we interject enough jokes to keep it moving?
I've
Here's the
heard
good
dying
news. This
stories funny
podcast-
before.
Also not that funny. So perfect fit, like a glove.
It worked very well.
Call it metaphorical.
Take it away, Rick. Tell us your
Oh,
sad,
okay.
scary story,
All right.
and we'll interject and make it fun.
All right, here we go. So if you don't
Sound
know, the
effects.
Cantab was there in Central Square and there for a long, long time. Casey Affleck actually mentioned it as like the last dive bar that he still goes to whenever he visits Boston. It's legendary. They had rock and roll. They had music. The Little Joe Cook had a hit in 1957, and he played there every Saturday. They did poetry and improv in the basement, and they did mystery theater, which is what brought me there this night. Because they had mystery theater. It was huge then. It's still around now, where the waiters and waitresses would be the characters in a play, and you would tip the waiters and waitresses to get clues and all that sort of stuff. So my girlfriend at the time was working there, and my thinking was, I'll just go to the Cantab and sit at the bar and wait for her to finish, because I didn't want to see that again.
You do a lot of just waiting for her to finish, right?
Yeah.
There we go. That's the kind of humor we can expect interjecting to pump this up.
Yeah.
I don't know
Wow.
what you were expecting.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
interesting that what I just said made the phrase "pump this up" come into your brain, but okay.
I'm an Elvis Costello fan.
You
So-
and my dad should meet.
So I was sitting at the bar watching the Raiders play the Denver Broncos. So
This is
I
too
know
much
it was
detail.
It was a Monday night.
Okay.
It's called context, Danny.
I'm a good writer. This all comes together.
Okay.
And having a beer, watching the Broncos and the Raiders play, right there with the TV right across from me, and it's their Halloween party on the Monday night for the staff and everything. So the band is playing, everyone's filled, they're dancing and everything, and one of the regulars comes in dressed as like a ghoul, like someone who had hung himself. So he's white paint, and he put a big belt around his chest and attached a wire to it.
Wait,
so
did
that
he
he
have
could
something
hang
around
himself.
his neck?
With nothing around his neck. I mean, there was a noose, but you could see it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was just hanging there.
All right.
And they had regular. Their regulars were characters all in themselves. I mean, the bar opened at 9 a.m. because the post office across the street finished their shift at 8:30, and all the postal workers would come and wait in line for the bar to open at 9. So it was always like that. There was one guy who was a regular that would just clean up for them after they closed, and they let him sleep there because he was an alcoholic, and he would grab a couple drinks while he was sweeping up and sleep there. In fact, one night, he wasn't there when they closed up, so they locked the door, and he slept at the doorstep in the parking lot and froze to death. Because this is the kind of people they have. It's a family, but also a little dysfunctional.
I don't have a
Like
dick
The
joke for that.
Simpsons.
Yeah. So the bars packed.
Don't
People
worry,
are
Eli.
dancing for the music, for the bands playing and everything. And this guy Billy comes in, and they say, "Oh, Billy, what's your costume?" He says, "Oh, I hung myself." And he says, "Oh, okay, yeah," because everyone else is in costume. And he goes, "No, let's do this." And he pulls out a chair, and he gets on top of the chair, and he goes to the beam over the dance floor, and hooks the wire that goes down to his belt on the beam. And the band does a drum roll, and they kick the chair out, and he's just sort of hanging there. And everyone says, "Oh, well, okay, now what?" And Billy goes, "Oh, no, nothing. No, everyone dance around. I'll be hanging out. Get it? I'll be hanging out here." And everyone's dancing and singing. The waitress is, pushing him, while she goes to get drinks for somebody or something.
Pushing him out of the way, so
Yeah.
like he's drapes.
Like he's swinging there, and he's kind of in the way, and
Okay.
the waitress goes by after a couple of minutes, like, "Hey, Billy, okay, can we
Yeah.
knock it off now?" He's like, and a couple more minutes go by, and finally the waitress is just like, all right, I've had enough. If you're not gonna get that, I'm gonna fine. And she pulls out a chair, and she has wire clippers, and she clips the wire going up to the beam, and it's just dead weight hits the ground. Like the band stops, everything drops. All of a sudden, you hear nothing but thwop. And what had happened was that Billy, in harnessing himself, forgot that was also on Percocets and a number of drinks, and basically had the belt around his diaphragm and cut off his oxygen, and really did hang himself without knowing it. So there was no, bailing or anything, and that happened. And then I'm in the bureau, the homicide detectives, the bureau the next day, and the Cambridge police are saying, "You're telling me a man hung himself 10 feet away from you, and you don't remember anything? You didn't see anything?" I'm like, "I can tell you that the Broncos went off tackle on 4th and 3.
There it is.
But in terms of the guy actually dying, no, I got nothing."
And then they did a Weekend at Bernie's type bit, right?
Yeah. Well, and also we'll put it on the website or the chat or whatever. I told the story last night in an open mic, and people didn't believe me. And our friend Sean Rhodes actually went online and found the newspaper article.
Ah, great.
Backing it up. Yeah, the LA Times actually has a piece.
Oh, if you have it, text it to me and I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So what was the reaction like in the bar when this happened? Was it pandemonium or was it just shocked silence?
Yeah, I mean,
you must remember that.
Yeah, that kind of like silent confusion of like, holy shit, what? I guess we call the police. No one really knew what to do.
How did you deduce that it was the diaphragm, that it was the belt cutting off air from his diaphragm?
Well, we actually, once the paramedics came in, that, it was like, what happened? Because we could see that there was nothing around his neck at all. Wow. And they said, I guess he had back surgery or something the month before and was saving up the Percocets. And so that's why the message wasn't getting to his brain that he wasn't getting any oxygen.
How far into the game was this?
This was third quarter. Yeah, it was, and that's what I'm saying. It was a really good game. I was really focused on it.
Sure.
And now it's like, wait, you mean we have to leave because the paramedics are here? What? I'm not going to do anything now.
I will say it is an inspirational story that the Cantab did not close because somebody died in it. Because I've heard that story before of somebody dying in a bar and that bar closing because of it.
Which bar?
What was... It's in by the reservoir. When I went to it, it was called Agoros, but it was called something else before that. Somebody like fell down the stairs and died, and then instead of like reporting it, they just put him out back.
Oh, okay.
So that bar closed and then became Agoros, but Agoros wasn't making any money, so now it's something else.
Probably haunted.
Yeah.
So what did Cantab do, Rick?
Well, so what the Cantab is so until I guess you can't really go there now. But what they would do is on the Monday before Halloween every year, they'd get a shot of Jack Daniels, which was Billy's drink, and pour a shot of Jack Daniels and put it on top of the beam, which was right next to the men's room, and put it there each year so you can actually see how long he had been gone by how many shot glasses were up there. And so there's just a little like ceremony among regulars. Yeah, a little ceremony among regulars of like, hey.
I meant more like, what did they do to ensure that didn't happen again? But that's also a cute.
Well, probably not allow people to hang from the
costumes not allowed during Halloween.
Yeah. Gosh, what an awful way to go! Dying in a bar.
Well, I mean, you know what? If you think about it, there was no pain.
Yeah.
There's no pain involved. You're with your friends.
You're going out on a great bit.
Yeah, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah. Wow. Well, everyone, don't go to the Cantab Lounge.
So I guess I know what I'm going for is Halloween.
The Cantab Lounge?
Yeah.
The building?
Yeah, and like Eli said, I mean, there's lots of stories like that. Was that the place that was doing open mics you were mentioning, Eli?
Yep. Yeah.
Basically, the guy goes down the stairs, and the manager calls the owner and says, I think we killed somebody. And the owner goes, oh, well, take him and put him out on the street so it doesn't look like it's us. And so the manager did that, and that was part of the reason they had to close. Was that wasn't just there was an accident.
Rick, let me give you a hypothetical scenario. Let's say it's a normal day at the club, and you decide not to come in for whatever reason, and you get a text from one of us that says, "I think we killed somebody."
Yeah, an audience member was fucking around and he slipped and he impaled himself on one of your numerous junk items on the phone. And is dead. What do we do?
A Johnny Carson DVD collection is lodged in his forehead.
Yeah, there's a man with a Tonight Show coffee mug wedged in his head.
It
What-
doesn't look good for you evidence-wise.
What do we do?
I'd say I'd immediately go like, oh, call authorities, or what's the protocol? Let's make sure we do absolutely everything by the book.
Hmm.
Good answer.
Unless it was a book that ended up being the thing that killed him, because you got a lot of those, and there's some sharp corners.
But I've also been in enough, situations that when that first hits, your mind goes to like, oh wait, let's ignore it, let's push it away, let's
Sure, avoidant
that's
Let's
my-
put him in a chair, hang him up with some wire so it looks like he's an engaged audience member. Do a little crowd
Rick,
work
you
with
and
him.
Yeah,
You
when
and I
that
share
fight or
that.
flight hits.
You and I share that to a certain extent, the avoidant personality disorder. But I could comfortably say we don't have it as bad as the people the guy who said, "Okay, just put him out back."
Well, no, because that was
That body
clearly
was-
financially.
Just put him out back.
Yeah. That was financially driven. There's been
Sure.
a few Rosebud, I believe, in Davis Square, in that back room. I believe there was a mob hit. The '99 in Charlestown, there was. Deco's, which is now
Wait,
a,
the chain
a diner.
restaurant?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that was great. There was like five of the boys were in a booth in the back corner, and someone came in and took care of one of the guys was singled out, and it was a literal mob hit.
They killed all 5 of those guys, or just the
I
one guy?
think just the one was really killed, and 2 or 3 got injured. But yeah, you can look it up. I mean, that to this day, anytime anyone walks into the '99, the first thing they ask, where did the guy get killed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very well known.
The guy who
It's like
told his manager to put the guy out back, how many times do you think he's done that? Because it sounds like I don't know how quickly he responded with that, but like it sounds
like
according to the
protocol.
story, it sounds like he responded like that. Like, oh, put him out back. That's exactly what you do. That's protocol.
Yeah, I guess it was the bouncers threw the guy down the stairs,
Ugh.
and so it was like, oh, he's not moving down the stairs. Holy shit!
I guess we told him to leave and never come back, and he took it literally.
Yeah.
Or metaphorically, spiritually.
What a sordid pet. Who'd have thought that Boston would have such a sordid history?
Yeah, well, the
All
Charlestown
these
that was
scholars are-
that was part of the Code of Silence murders.
Wait, the
Yeah,
Code
that
of
was- they
Silence
were-
murders? What's that?
The Code of Silence was Charlestown. They were doing mid '80s, early '90s. They were doing so much in coke, and the mob there was so vicious and fierce that people, mothers in the neighborhood, would not testify against the mobsters after the mobsters had killed their kids.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
And they did an artist did a huge thing on the Charlestown Memorial, the Bunker Hill Memorial, with it. And yeah, it was like a reign of terror for about 5-6 years, where if you lived in the neighborhood and there was a good chance that it was townie guys taking care of townie guys.
Have you ever thought about writing a book or doing a podcast about Boston's dark history? You seem to know a lot of it.
Dead people I've seen in bars.
Yeah.
Getting
Hey,
coffee.
in your call it, Did You Hear Who Died? With Rick Jenkins.
There we go. Yeah, I listened to some of that stuff. I lived up on Winter Hill for a long time, where the Winter Hill mob and Whitey was based out of. I mean, I know pieces of trivia here and there that make for good stories, but yeah, if you probably go way into it, it might have been the assistant manager called the owner, or the owner left a that I don't really know the details. I know enough trivia to make it into a compelling story.
Hey, that's all you need. You can-
Just a good story.
Who
I
needs to
learned
verify
from
facts?
from my grandfather a few years ago. Apparently, he went to high school with Whitey Bulger,
Oh,
but I guess they never knew. They didn't really know each other because it was such a big school. But he claims they were in the same graduating class.
yeah. Well, and Billy Bulger was people forget about now entirely. He was Whitey's brother
Mm-hmm.
and one of the most successful politicians and powerful politicians. He was Speaker of the Senate for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Any state money that was spent, went through Billy.
Are there any politicians that are still that cool? I mean,
Cool is an interesting word.
well, it's like most politicians are corrupt now, but not like the cool kind of corrupt with the mob. It's all just lobbyists and pharmaceutical
I would
industry.
say-
There's nothing
They
like
did a show, Providence, I think, is the show based on the Bulger brothers, where you have one brother who's the big crime fighting attorney with the government, and the other is the mob boss. Yeah, I mean, if there are, we don't know it.
That's true.
or they
That's
would
a
get
fair
arrested.
point.
I would say Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are pretty cool, but I don't know if they have mob ties. But they certainly aren't corrupt, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a happy medium.
I guess the only thing cooler than a mob corrupt politician is a non-corrupted
Yes.
politician.
I
And
mean, Donald Trump certainly.
Oh, he's the
It's
cleanest of them all. He drained the swamp, didn't you hear?
Well, hey, I've been reading up on QAnon, and they would say,
good. That's what we
would
need.
say,
Is you getting into QAnon?
Yeah, you got
We're gonna
Hillary
solve this
and
mystery.
Epstein and they're and Trump, and they're all in bed together, and there's a cabal of pedophiles that are running the country, and they're taking care of their own now. That
QAnon
it's becoming to light.
QAnon thinks that Trump is in bed with Hillary and Jeffrey and Epstein.
No,
Mhm.
Trump. The wing of QAnon is that Trump is the one who's not in the deep state.
Oh, good, of course.
And that's why the
Yeah.
State Department and everybody else is all upset with Trump because he's the one.
Yeah. Well, I look at that guy. I don't see anything
Yeah,
particular.
why are you not molesting these children with us, Trump? Get with the program.
Allegedly. Allegedly he's done some of that. Right?
Allegedly.
He's on those flight logs.
You hear that, Facebook?
Those pictures.
Allegedly.
Hey, look, I don't know the guy. I did ghostwrite his book.
Facebook, I want you to know, allegedly.
Yes. Hey, I don't need him suing me. This guy loves to do. God, I hate him so much.
Zuckerberg or Trump?
Trump and Zuckerberg. You see that creepy picture of Zuckerberg on the surfboard?
Which one?
He's
Every
got this-
picture he looks like a robot.
He's got his face all covered in sunscreen, which I guess is what they do when they surf, because you do get sunburned very easily. But he
We
looks like
do.
the fucking
They?
Joker. He looks exactly like the Joker. I'll try to put it in the chat. We have a few minutes before our guest arrives.
Okay.
And wouldn't this be fun?
I would love to see a picture of that he posted to Facebook and somebody photoshopped the description to quote the Joker movie.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's happened.
I think I've seen that picture and not realized it was Zuckerberg, or supposed to be.
You saw a creepy, like, just totally white-faced guy on a surfboard?
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix goes surfing in an outtake from the Joker movie.
Here we go. There we go.
I'm going to get a message from Zuckerberg later today. It says, I didn't find that very funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
since this is a podcast, if you could maybe give people a heads up of like what words to search or a link or something or other.
Oh, Mark Zuckerberg Joker. We'll do the trick.
Mark Zuckerberg surfing, Mark Zuckerberg creepy, Mark Zuckerberg not good haircut.
Yeah,
you can search any of those.
It's all paths lead to this picture. Okay, I posted it in the chat for you guys to look at. And there's a fun comparison that the New York posted with the original Joker from the 60s Batman series, who happened to be on a surfboard too. Look at that fucking guy.
Yeah, I saw it as like a real close-up.
I mean, you're Mark Zuckerberg. Why would you go out like that? You know it's gonna happen. I guess he doesn't care.
He looks so sad. He's like, why are you taking pictures of me?
You think that's just extreme SPF?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need it, to be honest. He's not wrong for putting it on.
Yeah, no, a very sensible, safe decision he made. Oh, our guest is here. I forgot to enable a waiting room for our show, but that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our second guest. She's currently doing a drive-in tour across the country. She'll be on our comedy studio show on August 1st.
August 8th.
Welcome.
Sorry.
What's that?
The 8th.
The 8th. August 8th. Oh, I'm an idiot. August 8th. Please welcome Erica Rhodes to the show.
Hey, Erica.
Hey, Rick. Hey, guys.
How's it
going?
I'm good. I'm not really. I wish I were doing a drive-in tour. I just got a special, but I'm not doing a full-on tour yet.
Where
how
can
did the special go?
It went really well. It was really fun.
You did this at the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Take us through it. Give us a bird's eye view. Well, not a bird's eye, because that would be high up. But give us an Erica's eye view of doing a show at the Rose Bowl.
Or even start with maybe start with how the decision was made to do it.
Yeah.
Because you were scheduled to record a special, and all of a sudden this happens. What happened with you and Bruce, with your manager?
Well, I was supposed to do the special as part of Tribeca. So it was through Comedy Dynamics, and we were gonna do they were gonna do 4 one-hour specials with 4 different comics. And the funny thing is, when they first showed me the venue, it was in Tribeca. I I called my manager and I was like, I don't know, the ceiling looks really high there. And I made like a big fuss about it. And like we looked at different photos and I was like, I don't know. It's like a really modern building. And I'd rather do my special in like a more comedy club type thing. And now the joke's on me. 'cause
The
it was-
audience is too close.
We got to send somebody out to measure it.
It just goes to show, you know, you just can't ever look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess.
That'll show you to suggest a comedy club ever again.
Right.
So at what point does it go from being at this venue in Tribeca to the Rose Bowl?
So, you know, they postponed everything obviously for months.
Mhm.
And then I got a call out of the blue from my manager Bruce, and he was like, so they're going, he goes, so this might be the weirdest call you've ever gotten. He said they are going to be doing the specials and they're planning to do them as a drive-in, like a drive-in show. And I cried. I was like, I don't want to do my special that way. I don't want to.
This would be a great intro to your special. Just you crying that you don't want to do it.
Literally crying.
You can't make me.
So did the experience live down to what you were fearing?
No, it was amazing. It was so fun.
It looked
Like,
really cool.
They kept encouraging Bruce. They kept saying, "We're gonna mic it. We're gonna produce it. Like, don't worry. It's gonna sound good." And he asked a million questions and then conveyed, you know, it to me. But he's like, "Yeah, it's a risk. You know."
The risk that your special will have no audience laughter.
Yeah. Or like, what if I can't hear the laughter? Or like,
So could you?
it just doesn't work.
Yeah, how did they solve that issue?
Well, they mic'd like 20 cars.
Oh, wow.
So like I could hear, and then they had the monitors up on the stage, so I
Okay.
could hear at least 20 cars.
Okay. And they were like honking along and appreciation.
We hacked into their
cars.
FM radios.
Yeah, I had a lot of honking applause breaks.
I mean, that's cool. It kind of sets you apart from the other comedians. None
Did
of
you
them
have any signs
honk
that just
applause
said
breaks.
honk if?
Applause breaks.
It
Yeah.
could be. I mean, it was definitely a cool. Like they did a really good job with the production.
Mhm.
You know, like they had drones. They had like the huge
Wow.
screen behind me. Like it was a production.
And you're
Yeah.
alone up on that big stage.
Yeah.
That's pretty safe. That's some good distance.
It was. Yeah.
Did you have an
It was
opener?
fun. Yeah, there was one warm-up guy, but he just did like 10 minutes.
He was just a mechanic who was there working on one of the cars.
Yeah, he's just some guy. They were like, "Can you just like get them going?"
Told some street jokes.
Do some prop comedy only. Don't touch the mic.
Right. Hey, Rick, are you on the roof?
I am on my fire escape.
Wow.
There's a fire
okay.
going
I was like,
on.
you look like you're just like perched on the roof.
How's it going? It's what, 96 degrees out today, Rick? How are you feeling?
Oh
Mom-
no.
Mom's on the roof and we can't get her down. It's my favorite joke ever.
Whose
Um,
joke is that?
Oh, it's an old street joke. In fact, Bob Newhart used to close with it and would do it as like a lispy gay voice for absolutely no apparent reason whatsoever. But basically, a brother leaves his cat with another brother. He says, "I love the cat." First day he calls and says, "How's the cat?" He says, "Oh, the cat died." His brother goes, "Oh, that's terrible. You know, break it to me slowly. I'm not going to be back for a week." Say the cat's on the roof and we can't get it down. Then say the cat fell, but with the vet thinks it's going to be okay. Then you say, "And so then by the end of the week, I'm prepared." He goes, "Okay, I'm sorry. I should have been more sensitive." The brother says, "Okay, how's mom?" "Mom's on the roof and we can't get her down."
That's funny.
So you're saying that you're sort of nearing the shadow of death in
Yes,
your
yes,
life? Is that
I'm sitting on the peak of my roof.
Would you ever do another drive-in again?
Oh hell yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, I'd love to.
So you're not doing a driving tour, but you are touring.
Yeah, well, not really. I just have
Okay.
one more date in at Wise Guys.
Is that indoors?
Syracuse.
It is.
How do we feel about that?
With Brendan Schaub and the kid.
Well, they did meet and greets, I think. I'm not doing meet and greets, you
Yeah.
know? I don't understand why anyone would do a meet and greet.
Yeah, that
It
was
really
probably
seems
not the
like
best
you're
choice.
tempting fate.
Yeah. I mean, I did Oklahoma, I did Minnesota. So I've done a bunch of clubs because everyone keeps dropping out. So They're like, who will come?
And how are those? I'm guessing Acme and what's Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Ben?
They're called the Bricktown Comedy Club.
Ah,
They were really good. They were fun. Acme was very. Oh, look, there's a cat.
my cat
Um,
Anna wants to be a
Every
famous
time.
comedian, just like Erica.
Aw. Acme was very good at the social distancing. I mean, they both clubs were, but Acme was like extra careful because it was their first week back.
Yeah.
So they were really careful about everyone being really separated. So actually, I'm really glad I did Acme because it felt like a drive-in. Everyone was like, it would be like two people here and then two people way far away.
Mhm.
So, and really small crowds. So I could kind of gauge from that what it would be like when I did the drive-in.
Yeah. What sort of precautions did you have to take?
What did I take?
Yeah. Did you have to have your own mic? Was
Like
there a
zinc or anything?
sneeze guard or?
I just took I just wore a mask. Like everybody wore masks entering the building, leaving the building. Like when you're around people. Once you're on stage, you don't have to wear a mask. I wasn't like that. I guess I wasn't that careful about touching things. I just didn't think about that. But I wash my hands like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then I take a lot of vitamins and a lot, like I do a lot for my immune system. And I don't drink like ever.
Mhm.
And I swear that helps your
That's
immune
the one
system.
thing that'll keep you
Yeah.
safe.
It takes a sip of beer.
Yeah. I was worried about you. It's like
And being very careful.
I got a call from Jonathan Katz,
Our friend.
and when I was in Oklahoma, and he left me a message that I feel bad. I owe him a call because he called me and he's like, Erica, it's Jonathan. I think you know why I'm calling. And it just scared me, so I just didn't call him back. I was like, he's gonna lecture me. He's gonna like tell me you shouldn't be traveling. Like,
It sounds
gonna
like you
get mad
didn't
at
know why he
me.
was calling.
yeah, it would be funny if I called and he was like, no, that's not why I was calling. But yeah, I think some people were worried. I kind of feel like I already had the virus, so
What makes you feel that way?
I was sick for like
In the hospital?
No, I was sick for 3 weeks in March, but it was a weird one where it came. I got sick, then it left, then it came back, and it was like I was just kind of out, and I had like symptoms. I didn't really have a bad cough, but I kept having to clear my throat a lot, and I had sort of like a fevery thing, and I was exhausted and had no appetite for like 3 weeks.
Those are not good symptoms.
That sounds like the virus, Erica. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I already had it.
You're
know?
safe.
Yeah, but they're not really sure how long that the immunity lasts.
Oh,
or
Rick, don't be a spoil sport.
Well, I mean, the other weird thing is that, like, just because this virus is here, that doesn't mean other viruses and infections are gone now. They're not just, like, stepping aside, letting this one take all the symptoms. There's still other shit going on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it could have been the flu or something, I guess.
Well, hey, good on you for continuing to eke out a living as a comedian.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm insane, but you know.
Well, have you done who isn't these days? My goodness, have you done some online shows?
Yeah, I've done a lot of Zoom shows.
How do they compare to the real thing?
I mean, there's nothing like the real thing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But you know what? It's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like,
better
when I
than nothing
first
is a
started
great
doing-
catchphrase for it.
You what?
It's better than nothing is a good catchphrase for Zoom comedy.
Yeah, I was also like, it was a fun way to experiment with new material, you know? Like, you could get more conversational with it. I actually wrote 2 jokes that are on my special on Zoom shows.
Hey, so got something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you do one. I forget which one, but it was a while ago. But I think it was Flappers. But yeah, you really, really great job, and it really points out. I think what's going to change is the intimacy. I mean, I think you had I've seen you like with your mom, or you're talking to your mom or something. You know, it's like when you're online, you've got to be. It's like a podcast. You're in somebody's head. You're right face to face.
Yeah, I was kind of like joking, like the comics that are going to thrive right now are the ones that you just want in your living room. Like, who do you just want to invite
Yeah.
over?
Yeah. Yeah, the way people talk about the Zoom shows and the online stuff reminds me a lot of the way people talked about radio and television when those first started. You know, it's like, oh, this person's in your living room every day, except now they're in your lap.
Yeah, who's good for radio? It's gonna be good for Zoom shows.
Rick, what was it like when radio and television first started? You were around.
Tell us about the olden days.
Yeah.
What about when the telephone was invented? What was that like?
Was everyone like freaked out, going crazy?
That's hilarious. Like, he's so old.
I remember the first steam engine comedy show.
Yeah, I mean, there was it was black and white television. There was no programming until like 7 in the morning when the cartoons would come on.
Just had color bars on the screen from like midnight to 7.
My favorite show.
Not even color bars because it was black and white.
I didn't have a TV until I was 8. I didn't have a TV. Yeah.
Were your parents hippies?
No, I don't know why we didn't have a TV. We just didn't have one.
What did you do until you were 8?
Played outside.
Oh my God.
Child abuse.
Used my imagination.
What?
No.
Can't be trusted with that.
Never.
It's such an impressionable age. It's funny that Rick mentioned. Oh, go ahead. Zoom shows, yes. Those don't require a TV. It's funny Rick mentioned your mom, Erica. I was watching a video of you at the Comedy Studio some years back, and you mentioned that the first time your mom ever saw you perform comedy was at the studio, and she gave you.
Yes, it was so special. It was like the first time she ever saw me. I had just started. Rick put me up, and I don't remember. I think I did okay. I was like just doing one-liners back then, and I think I had one joke that might have been based on that show where my mom said, honey, everything was wonderful. You seemed so confident up there. You seemed like you were having so much fun. Now there's just one little thing that I could change. Just one tiny, tiny little thing. If there was a gun up to my head and I had to change one tiny, tiny, tiny little thing, it would be the material.
Eric, do you remember this? Do you remember Erica's set?
No.
Thanks, Rick.
Wouldn't have teed you up if I knew that would be the answer.
No, I don't remember
sorry,
at all. Here was this magical evening, this history-making evening.
Well, I remember that your mom was there.
Oh, okay.
That's really, that's my favorite thing in the world. Comic brings your mom.
I see.
Rick, did you have her mom bring her up?
No.
You usually do that thing where you have an audience. If like an audience member knows the comic, you'll try and have them come up and introduce the comic. I don't know if you did that.
She hung out after. She was like chilling out after, and we all hung out after. That was fun.
Did you have your mom help you clean up the Hong Kong after the show was over?
Put the chairs and the tables away.
Here's a rag. Get to wiping.
Mom, we need your help, but DJs are waiting to come in. We gotta get this place. Oh, that's fun.
We need to clean the sweet and sour chicken.
Was the studio the first place you did stand-up, or was it?
No, but it was the first place I ever performed in Boston.
Wow.
And I had just started. Like when Rick put me up, I think I had only been doing stand-up for like a year. I was like really new.
What was
he doesn't remember anything I said because he's like, "This is bad."
Did you do?
How'd you get started?
I started out here in LA, and when I met my manager, I hadn't done stand up at all, but I told him I was like a young Maria Bamford. That's how I got his attention.
That's what I told Rick about me.
Yeah.
It's the best line to use if you're trying to start as a comic. I'm the new
everybody does that. Yeah. As we know, everyone.
He's like, oh, I've heard that one before.
Yeah. So when I met with him, he was like, what do you want to do? Like, what are your goals? And I said, I want to do SNL. And he's like, well, that's never going to happen. Get a different goal.
I'm going to steal that. That's great.
I want to do my special outside.
so then he's like, I could see you doing stand up, but then it took me like another 2 years to actually start it.
Now you were doing voiceover work or voice characters, weren't you? Were you already
Well,
on
I
Home?
did Prairie Home Companion since I was 10. So like I got started that way, but I wasn't really doing characters as much as like he always wrote me to play pretty close versions to myself. So like I think a lot of the reasons I started doing stand up like have to do with that, where it's like I was used to hearing like monologues in my voice or things in my voice that he had written for me, and then gradually as I progressed in the show, he like started having me write my own stuff.
Wow.
So
That's great. And did you think, I mean, obviously his writing must have influenced your writing.
I think so. I mean, I definitely like tend to work a little cleaner. Like I'm veering more into storytelling now, you know, like I like the longer form jokes more than when I first started and I was doing just like those one-liners.
Oh, Rick told a great story before you came on the show.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I'm
very
sorry, I missed
inspirational.
it.
Oh, and you know what? In fact, I'll put the link, I'm putting the link in the chat right now.
Oh, it'd be,
I would love to see it.
it's yes, it's a dark
It's
story.
Okay.
the theme
when we
is
logged
people
out-
dying in bars.
Yeah, that's the story he told.
Oh no.
Well, and it's a true story, so, and no one believed me, so a comic looked it up and found
This
the
was in the LA Times.
citation.
Got
Yeah.
receipts.
God.
What's going
okay.
on now, Rick? Are you safe?
I am going go into the house and get my charger because I'm running low.
Oh, okay.
So
Take us with you.
continue. Yes.
We're on the scene live.
So you're in LA right now, Erica.
Yeah.
Is it scary to be in LA right now? Is there's a resurgence of the virus?
You know, I'm not really paying attention.
Good. It's not worth it. What are you gonna see? Good news? No.
No, I'm just not. I'm not tracking the numbers every day. I'm not listening to the hype. I'm just living my life, and obviously, I'm being as safe as I can be, but I'm just not doing that.
Good. Well, then that's one thing I can cross off my notes.
I mean, I'm just not. I just don't know how much more we can talk about it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's
like,
been.
how much are we going to talk about it? Like, at a certain point, you have to be like, well, we can live our lives as best as we can every day, or we can talk about the fear every day.
Yeah. What was it like flying?
Rick, the visual is so funny.
This is. I hope this camera angle gets used in a lot of horror movies. The shot from the computer.
Front-facing MacBook camera angle as you're carrying your computer around. I'm sorry, Rick. What did you ask Erica?
What was it like
Flying was fine. We, Delta's being better than American. Delta is at least not seating the middle seat.
Oh, good. Always hated it.
Oh, the middle
everyone's
seats
wearing
no
masks.
more. That sounds like a dream for flying.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than American. American, I flew back from Florida because I went to visit my sister like at the beginning of the pandemic, and I flew back and it was packed. Like you wouldn't even know anything was happening except for the masks. So that was kind of worrisome.
Was the price the same? Is it cheaper?
No, the prices I thought would be less, but they're not a whole lot less. This is funny.
Yeah, I know. I can't. It's mesmerizing. I can't take my eyes off of it.
Okay.
It's like
And
he's
we're back.
Medusa. Hey, there
Back
he is.
on the roof. Welcome.
Yeah, I would think maybe it'd be more
Welcome back.
expensive because they're not selling that middle seat, or maybe it would be cheaper because no one wants to fly.
Yeah, to me, I think it's a little cheaper, but not like significantly. Not as much as I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked up flights to Italy in like April, and they were pretty cheap. But I'm sure that price has bounced back up.
Are there any clubs open in Boston yet, or no?
There's Giggles and Saugus they've put up a large tent in their parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think so.
And the Kowloon's just doing drive-in movies. They're not even doing drive-in shows yet.
Yeah. John Tobin has Woo Ha Ha in Worcester, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And they put up a tent in the beer garden. So they're doing shows in the beer garden. And Rob Steen has his LOL shows in Manchester. He's doing those on Saturdays. So there's a couple things here and there. And Comics is doing it at Mohegan Sun, but those are usually contests, bringer contests during the pandemic.
I saw Jim. Oh God. I saw Jim Gaffigan was doing drive-in tours.
Oh yeah.
I saw him pose the question, I think, after Bert Kreischer's drive-in tour.
So he Bert Kreischer was the first one I think who started doing it.
Yeah, and it sounded like it went pretty well and really safely, so I guess some comics are considering the idea now.
They're pretty cool, you know?
What was it like for yours? Were people like tailgating before the show, like grilling out and...
I didn't get that feeling, no. I got the feeling they came just for the show and they were just happy to have a reason to leave the house.
Did you do any like hanging out outside before the show?
Meet and greets.
Bring a charcoal grill, put some dogs on.
I tried to meet as many people as possible.
Line up.
I just had the sound check and then I was really nervous, so I was just like in my own world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the photos, you look like a complete rock star. It's really cool.
Yeah, Bruce took those photos and I loved them. I was like, they're really cool photos.
Yeah.
What's the writer like for a drive-in comedy show? What's the
Writer?
Free movies for life.
What do you request from the club or from the drive-in?
I should have requested more. I don't think I requested anything.
It's because you're a woman of scruples.
I'm low maintenance diva over here.
That's a good album title. Maybe once you're ready to record the follow-up to Sad Lemon.
That is true. Low maintenance diva.
Yeah.
I need a joke first to go.
Yeah, that's secondary to the title.
Now I don't know what to do. It's like once you do a special, you're back to square one.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Are you writing new jokes? Or are you resting on your laurels a bit?
I'm starting to, but like I feel like it's one of those things where you have to figure out like what topics do I want to cover.
Mm-hmm.
I think I tweeted this where my manager was telling me like right after the special, he's like, now you have to think of your special as if it's like a book you're writing. Your next hour. Think of your next hour like a book you're writing, and you want to cover maybe different topics. You want it to be a different. Oh shoot, someone was calling. Oop.
The Jim Gaffigan asking for advice. We don't know.
I accidentally got a phone call.
I didn't mean to.
Congrats. I think it was probably not the kind you want. Oh yeah, so he was telling me like you need to think of a different topics, different stuff, and like maybe make it fresh, new. And finally I was just like, I get it, Bruce. You want me to get pregnant. I get it.
The pregnant tour.
Yeah, I get this is gonna be your pregnant special.
The first pregnant comedian to do a special outside at a drive-in movie theater. It's never been done before.
Yeah, do the Ali Wong thing. Start writing it now so the material and the special can coincide with the 8th month.
Exactly. I need to get it perfect.
Was that how Ali Wong wrote her special? Because that is super impressive.
Pretty smart.
I don't think or know if it was intentional, but yeah, 2 specials. She was pregnant on each of them.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
Hey,
now, are you writing? So, are you thinking about writing a book, or is it all focused on stand-up now?
Well, I hadn't really thought about writing a book, but actually during the pandemic, the beginning of it, since now it's always during it, during this time, I did start writing a book, actually. I wrote like 20 pages, but that's how far I got.
That's the most anyone reads anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone checks out after those first 20 pages.
I basically wrote a book.
Yeah. Get a ghostwriter. Just to put that lorem ipsum, default fake Latin text.
What have you guys been up to? I feel like I want to know what's going on with you guys.
Tell her, Rick.
Yeah, tell me, Rick.
Well, we've been, well, first of all, everyone's doing that same thing during the pandemic. I'm like, oh, I should write a book. I should do a screenplay. I should, and just sit there with that blank page and go, oh, maybe something else. Basically, we can't open Somerville. Our space, our city, isn't even into phase 3 yet. They're holding off on phase 3 until at least August 3rd. So we don't
blustery.
Yeah. So we don't have to. We don't really have to consider a whole lot. But we're putting our efforts and our energies into doing the live Zoom shows on Saturday
Yeah, that's
night.
great.
Yeah, and those have been coming out really well. I mean, Wendy Lehman, Brian Cat, a lot of friends, Jonathan, are coming by and doing sets, and it's kind of like as close to the studio as we can make it. Because
Yeah.
we've got, it's 5 people doing short sets and a little banter back and forth, and hoping that bridges us from here until we can open and have vaccines at the door.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have vaccines at the door to hand out to
Vaccine
people.
cocktails.
Is that really what you expect is gonna happen?
Take your
I just wanna
vaccine
make
with
sure
a
that you're not
crazy straw.
setting yourself up.
Well, a lot of people are doing temperature checks. Like when I went to yoga a couple times, there was like nobody there, but they did temperature checks.
Yeah, we ordered 3 of those forehead thermometers.
Yeah, those are cool. You don't even notice they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. I'm worried they're putting 5G in my brain whenever I see it, so I politely declined, but they do look cool. I was going through, Erica, in preparation for the show, as I often do. I was doing some research on you. I was going through your IMDb page. You've had quite a career. It's impressive.
Oh, thanks. There's some things there I'm trying to figure out how to get off, but
Well, I was going to ask you, so you appeared in a feature film called The 18-Year-Old Virgin.
oh God, yeah. There's an example of something I'd like to get off there.
I want to make sure you know that that's okay for 18-year-olds to be virgin. That's normal. They should not shame 18-year-olds.
I didn't name this film.
For nerds.
Yeah,
I
jeez.
just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's like being like the 15-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
You're trying to get that scrubs from your IMDb. Get it out of there. Lysol.
Yeah, there was like a production company, I think, that did a lot of like a little bit like, D-rated films. That kind of thing.
The Asylum, I think, is the name of it, right? They do rip-off. They did Snakes on a Train. Was their
Oh
big
no,
hit.
Asylum did a different one. They
Okay.
did another horror movie I did.
Oh, you're in a horror movie.
Oh, a bunch of horror movies.
A bunch of horror movies. Is that
Yeah.
fun? You covered in fake blood. It's like corn.
Yes, actually, it can be really fun. Yeah, the blood is kind of fun. It's a little sticky though.
Yeah, it's
Are
the
you worried?
cornstarch.
I've always worried, the one thing that has prevented me from becoming a famous actor is I don't want my family to have to see me die in a movie. Because how traumatic must that be for them? Is that something you worried about?
You don't want
mom
that?
watching a horror movie you're in and you're all covered in blood and guts?
I hadn't really thought about that, to be honest. I think I'd be more weirded out about like a sex scene.
Ah, yes, that was another
one
one.
time I watched Last Tango in Paris with my mom.
Okay.
Not recommended. It's not a mother-daughter film. Not a mother-daughter film.
What happens in it?
And now apparently there was a lot of actual abuse.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now it's coming out.
That was an uncomfortable moment.
And you were Last Tango in Paris and your mom saw it, or what's?
I wasn't in it. What?
I don't know. I was trying to do a bit. Erica, I so often flounder on these podcasts and I just say whatever comes out.
It's a bit we do on this podcast called trying to do a bit.
A similar thing happened to you this weekend on the show. Our opening comedian went kind of dirty, and you had a couple. Your upstairs neighbors are a little bit older, and
that's true.
Gonna be honest, thought that was hilarious.
I had I have some people who live above me are a little bit older, and they had expressed interest in coming to one of your shows, so I sent them the link to our most recent one, and they came, and the first comedian had a lot of squirting material, which more
shout out to Jordan Jensen. Great job opening the show, Jordan.
But hey, it's great. It's very funny, but I was very embarrassed for them to.
I will say it is a good sign. They stayed for the whole show.
Once to my aunt, I had my aunt and uncle who are coming from Minnesota, and they came to a Valentine's Day show in at the Comedy Store, but it was like really new comics. Like they were all very new and
very refined.
They were filthy, and I kept telling my aunt and uncle, I was like, you can leave. Like I kept
They stayed?
were, like, sitting really in the front. Yeah, they stayed, and I kept being like, you guys can go. You don't have to watch this. And then after they tried so hard to like say, well, I really thought they were doing a very good job. And I was like, no, they weren't.
That is adorable.
Yeah, there was
I
only
was
one.
like, no, it was really bad.
Did
Well,
they have a
only one
moment where they
problem, the
finally were like,
material.
"We hated it"?
Yeah,
It
the
was
material
awful.
was horrible.
When the fourth white bearded man in a row talked about farting out of his dick hole, I thought, wow, what a cultural phenomenon we're in.
They
and
really
how
tried to give the benefit of the doubt. They kept being like, no, I thought they were, I saw what they were doing. And I was like, I did not. I didn't see it at all.
I
Well, that's
never
very
thought
sweet
I
of
would
your
see 20
fandom.
people talking about farting their balls.
I have emailed my upstairs neighbors to thank them for coming and apologize for how blue it was, and they have not responded yet.
I still can't
Oh,
believe they stayed the
no.
whole time.
Oh, no.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Hey, Erica, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
We
It's
are-
nice to see you all.
Oh, you know what? There's one segment I forgot. So we like to end each show with a comedy recommendation. Everyone goes around the horn, gives something they've recommended in the world of comedy this past week. Rick, would you like to get us started before we click stop record?
Oh goodness. Yeah. Let's see. For the local business, can we do it in? Do we have to do it in order?
Well, we should explain
No,
what the
maybe
local
you-
business one is, but before
Oh,
we
yes.
do
We
that.
also like to recommend a local business that might be floundering during the pandemic that people could support. We should have prepped you with this, Erica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
I will go with for the business Fortissimo. They used to be
I
right
do
next
like
door to
Fortissimo.
us, and now they just moved a little bit down the street, Somerville Ave, and they've set all the tables and chairs outside. It's a coffee shop, a sandwich place. It tends to be the service tends to be a little slow, but during this time, where else have you got to go?
They do feature a printer that lets you, if you ever need somewhere to print, you can print at Fortissimo Coffee House. And they also have every flavor imaginable for your coffee. Like, they have a whole shelf with like 30 different flavor bottles.
Yeah, and they'll give you the Wi-Fi if you want to sit in the little park right in the middle of the street there. So
Right.
that's so that's pretty cool. I'd like to put in a plug for our merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
We
Can
sell
now get
merch
the
now.
Comedy Studio merchandise online. Just go through the website. And for comedy, I would, our friend Nikki Luparelli is actually doing a showcase show for Flappers. She's got her own shows, which I highly recommend. Sunday she does all singing, but she dresses to the nines and makes a real entertaining show out of it. But I think the show she's doing for Flappers has 6 female comics doing shorter sets, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a good comedy show.
Yeah, I think it's an
Great.
all-female show. It's pretty cool.
I'd like to recommend Trader Joe's for my local business. And
They're rebranding.
I did see that they're getting rid of Trader Giotto's and Trader Ming's.
Yeah, because they're racist.
I'm sorry,
They are
what,
racist.
what are those?
So if you get let's say you get olive oil at Trader Joe's, it won't say Trader Joe's on it, it'll say Trader Giotto's. And then let's say you get I don't know, like frozen fried rice, it'll say Trader Ming's on it instead of Trader Joe's. And they are now doing away with that. So
Stores in Mexico are like, Trader Jose.
Trader Jose, yes.
There's got to be one person who is like, I thought it was a perfect idea. I thought it was a good idea.
Kyle Kinane has a very funny bit about it on his first album. If you'd like to hear that, from 2011, the album's called "Death of the Party." I would like to recommend the David Letterman Oliver Reed interview from 1987. It's extremely contentious and a lot of fun. So just Google David Letterman Oliver Reed, and you can see David Letterman really squirm after someone finally challenges him on his bullshit.
Oh, I'll throw that in very quickly. Also, coming out this week, I believe, Jason Zinoman, the comedy critic for the New York Times, is doing a piece on Sam Jay, our friend, who has an album coming out, and he interviewed me. So I got to talk about. He wrote the book, the biography of Letterman. So we got to talk comedy for an hour.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm still psyched. I had notes. I was all sorts of trivia. And,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Erica, do you have something in the world of comedy you'd like to recommend?
I mean, I know it came out a while ago, but I still love Gary Goldman's
Oh,
special.
yeah.
The Good Depression, yes.
Yeah, that was really great. And local business.
Rick was in that at the very beginning.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah. Because the opening
Mhm.
and the closing, right?
His HBO
Yeah,
debut.
I'd like to say the high point of my career was the low point of his life.
He managed to
That's
monetize it.
hilarious. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, Great Depression is great. That was a great recommendation. Is there a good LA local business that you've been?
There's this cute clothing store called the Canyon. When I went there to buy some clothes before for my special, and I got a jacket there, but I didn't end up wearing it. But they were like so helpful, and it's right on Franklin near where UCB is in LA. And yeah, you could go there, check out, order some clothes online or something. They were just like a cute little boutique shop, and they were really nice.
Oh wow.
Nice. What was the name again?
The Canyon.
The Canyon.
Yeah.
How about you, Eli? Take us home.
So for my comedy recommendation, I have not thought about it at all. So
okay.
for
We've
my
only
local
done this
business
55 fucking
recommendation,
times.
I would say it is a great idea to support your local taqueria, whichever it may be. For me, that's Los Amigos in Coolidge Corner, Anna's Taqueria, Amelia's Taqueria, and Felipe's Taqueria in Harvard Square. Those are all fantastic.
Coolidge Corner's where I grew up.
Oh, really?
Ah,
Well, I was born in Brookline.
Oh, shit.
wow.
And you're
I
not
took a
Jewish.
screenwriting
That
class
is
at Brookline
insane.
High. Ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, and I went to devotion when I was.
Is that Catholic school?
No, it's just an elementary public school.
Oh, and it's called
I
Devotion.
taught how to do stand-up comedy class at Brookline Adult Ed in the high school there, and one of my students was Gary Goldman.
What?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
that's how I know Gary from way back.
Oh my god, that's such a cool story.
See, I can tell stories.
Nobody died in that one.
No one doubted you.
No one died in it. Yeah, good point, Eli.
Erica, thank you so much. What a treat this has been. We can't wait to see you on the August 8th comedy show.
Thanks
The
for
album
having me.
Sad Lemon is out now. Where else could our listeners find you?
Just on my Twitter, I'm pretty active there at Erica Rhodes, and
Awesome.
Instagram Erica Rhodes too.
Well, thank you so much. It was good to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Rick and Eli, I see you almost every day, so
See you tomorrow, pal.
stay
But
cool.
you're sick of each other.
All right, bye, guys. Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Ooh, pizza's here.